The latest red pill guru guy on the block is already getting exposed, and he hasn't even had his 15 minutes of fame yet. His name is David Cooley from the No Fugazi Podcast. At this point, this is like clockwork. These dudes usually spawn out of nowhere after discovering the method of giving girls drinks, getting them drunk on a podcast, agitating them with stupid questions, and once they start acting up, you kick them off the podcast, clip it up, and post it on TikTok. And once you do that enough time, you will get some type of notoriety from incels, and then that's usually the spark you need for a red pill career. But then things usually go wrong once these dudes start feeling themselves and start thinking they're smart because they're talking to drunk girls on a podcast that they control. If they go outside of that podcast and echo chamber that they control and usually do collabs with other podcasts and try talking to logical adults and try to like spew the same stupid talking points. Once they do that, the logical adults usually own them, make them look stupid, the clip go viral, and then that's usually the start of their downfall. And that's exactly what happened with David Cooley. He went on a particular podcast called Tonight Conversation. It's essentially like an adult forum where adults gather and have adult conversations that's like logical sometimes. Well, he went on trying to spew the same red pill, high value man nonsense and sort of got owned, exposed, and destroyed.
Modern day women just don't qualify for the top tier men, and that is the truth.
You believe you're a top tier man? By what standard?
I'm 6'4", only about what? 8% of the entire world is 6'4". I make well over 100K a year. And I'm black at that if you add that on. So just if we're speaking about those figures, the things that women are attracted to, no, I'm not gonna toot my own horn, but I'll let you do the math.
Hold on, before we go, what's your math saying?
The conversation and the words that are coming out of the mouth of someone like you, I would never consider top tier. A top tier man is also a man that is extremely desirable by way of his character. A top tier man is a man who displays a certain level of intellect that allows him to consider other people. Top tier man supports the dreams and the ideas of a woman. A top tier man prioritizes a woman.
And with all that stuff that you just said, that was just womanese talk.
Womanese is also 6'4", black, attractive. I don't know too many women in my circle who desire a 6'4" man still wearing braids.
Make no mistake about it, both these people are really dumb. One person believes a man's value or goal in life is to cater to a woman and make her dreams come true. And the other person practiced saying womanese in a mirror for 4 hours thinking he discovered like this dope word only to get called a nerd and a dweeb on the podcast. Now, ever since that particular podcast, a lot of people have been sort of researching into David Cooley's past and trying to figure out, bruh, who is this guy and is he really who he says he is? And they found some inconsistencies where it's not really that big of a deal on the surface, but once you really take a look at his content, you start to realize like this dude is an absolute fraud based on the inconsistencies. So one thing for sure a lot of people have been calling out is his take on single mothers. He's calling them for recreational use only, how they're not valuable, they don't deserve high value men, they deserve less, etc., like the usual red pill talking points. This guy has been professing that up and down all on his channel.
Modern day women just don't qualify for the top tier men, and that is the truth. I'm 6'4", well over 100K a year, and I'm black. Single moms, recreational use only. Recreational use only.
Not a single mom of two.
That's why he talked the way he talked.
Shout out Benny Ray for the investigative journalism.
As a single mother, do you believe you deserve a man in the top percentile?
He talked all this smack about single mothers, told his audience how single mothers are not to be dated, wifed up, or nothing like that. They're for recreational use only. Talk about how a man is dumb or stupid if he even entertains the aspect of wifing up a single mother. And then come to find out, bruh, David Cooley is married to a single mama of two, right, who had 2 kids before him, and he stepped in to be a stepdaddy. This is just pure hypocrisy, no way to really get around it at all. Now, he does offer some type of creative explanation, but nobody is really buying it. His own audience is in his YouTube comment section roasting him and telling him, you got to speak on this, use a fraud, use a fraud, use a fraud. Now, after about the 1,000th fraud comment, he finally decided he was going to do a live stream dedicated directly to this, and the live stream didn't make things much better.
Yo, welcome to No Fugazee Podcast. So, still packing up. As you can see, it's going to be the last show. And enjoy the intro for the last time, man. Once we come back, we're going to... All right, we are back. Welcome to No Fugazee Podcast, ladies and gents. As you can see from the title, it says the end of No Fugazee Podcast, man. This is the end. This will be the last stream. You know, my podcast is called No Fugazi, and you know, it's been a lot of fugaziness going on, man. So time to give y'all the truth.
He's doing this really sneaky tactic where he's pretending like it's all a joke, it's all satire. You know, these people are losing their minds, they're reaching for no reason, right? So he makes a joke about it to cope with the fact that like his podcast may just be over. Like people can probably never respect his opinion again after this particular saga and scandal, and that he maybe have to put fries in the bag really soon. So he's making a joke out of it. However, like the real life consequences that's gonna come from not really being a credible voice anymore actually shows this is not a joke. And you know, he's probably stressing deep down inside, but he goes on and gives like a really dumb explanation as to why he's dating a single mother with 2 kids, but he told his audience that they shouldn't date single mother with 2 kids and that single mothers are for recreational purposes only. Now, check out his explanation as to why he can do it, but they can't.
So a hypocrite is someone that tells someone, yeah, I don't do this. That ain't me. I don't stand for this. But then they go ahead out and do it. That's what a hypocrite is. Just want to let y'all know. That is true. We can all agree to that.
David Cooley is so used to talking to drunk women from third world countries on his podcast that he thinks that we're all drunk women from third world countries who are just going to go along and buy his BS. Like anybody with an IQ over 70 can spot exactly what he's getting to and meet him there before he gets there. Like this whole narrative that, oh, I'm not a hypocrite. I didn't lie because I never told y'all that I wasn't wifing up single mothers. I just told y'all that y'all shouldn't do it. That's not how that works, bruh. Like if you're talking to your audience and you say, hey, bruh, don't drink, don't smoke, it's wrong, it's bad. Or, hey, bruh, I'm Muslim, you know, this is haram, that's haram, that's haram. It's implied that if you're Muslim and this is haram, that you are not doing it because you're Muslim. And if you're this red pill guru and you're out here telling your audience, never wife up single mothers, they are recreational, you know, they're to be played with, not taken seriously. Well, it's implied that you, the red pill guru, isn't wifing up single mothers, you know, giving them more babies, giving them half your stuff and starting a life over with them. That's implied. So yes, you are still a hypocrite, even though you didn't tell them that you weren't doing it. You told them that they shouldn't do it while you were living that particular lifestyle you preach against. That's why you are a hypocrite.
Now we got to speak about myself, right? So let's go to it. So I met like I just said, when I was 25 years old, we met. I had a kid, full custody. And when you are a single father, it's much different. Like in this space, we speak about, you know, the manosphere, like / red pill type conversations. We always speak about mitigating risk, like coming from a mitigating risk standpoint, like, okay, stuff like that. So it's more from like a selfish standpoint when we're speaking. But when you're a father, you have to be selfless because I had a daughter that I can't be selfish. So I can't be like, man, let me get, you know, the chick with 000 baggage. I'm just looking at those things and all of this, but I'm not really worried about the values and all of that. But when you are a father, you got to be selfless. You got to think about, well, I got to find a woman that embodies some good moral characteristic traits like I do. I got to find a woman that comes from a 2-parent household. I got to find a woman that's like the exception to the rule. Because I'll tell you,
this is some really shameful stuff, man. He's passing the blame up to his kid. He's saying, listen, man, I could have been selfish. I could have gotten a woman that I told y'all to get. I could have stayed away from the single mama with multiple kids like I told y'all to stay away from. But I had to make the sacrifice, man. I had to settle down with the mom of 2 kids because I had to think about my daughter. This was the only woman I could find who would be a great mother to my kid. So I settled down with her. It's as if the red pill guru forgot like what they preach. Like, aren't the high value men like you, David Cooley, like the 6'4" who make six figures according to you, don't like the high value 10% of men have access to like 99.9% of women according to y'all statistics that y'all sort of pull out of y'all behind? If that's the case, bruh, like you couldn't find a woman with no kids who met those values, like the bar is really low. Good values in a 2-parent household. You couldn't find a woman with no kids who fit that criteria. You telling me you had to settle with the mom of 2 kids because like that's the only woman you could find to meet that criteria? And apparently like all the single mamas that your audience wifed up, well, they're wrong for wifing them up, but your woman is somewhat magically the exception to the rule.
When you're a single father, women that don't have kids don't necessarily understand the obligations that come with having kids. You get it? They don't understand the obligations that comes with having kids. So for my situation and for a lot of guys, I mean, if you can get a woman that is the exception to the rule where she's not a single mom because she got knocked up or she had some one night stands or she has a whole lot of tattoos, like she has all of these other red flags and she's a single mom, is like, God dang, what's going on? Because we know the stigma around single moms. So if you're going to date a single mom, you got to date one that isn't a stigma. But guess what? Stay away from the single moms. I still tell you guys now, because generally speaking, the majority, they have all of that baggage. I just so happen to be the exception to the rule, and so is my chick.
You can go through his comment section and see his audience isn't buying it, not one bit. Yo, you'll be hard pressed to find a positive comment, bruh. Like, look at this, bruh. Yo, he turned it into a joke to make himself feel good about the situation. Accountability is everything a man, bro. A true goofball podcast. Bruh, people is roasting this dude, bro. Like, his audience is turning against him. They're not buying the excuses. And this, like, I'm the exception isn't really, like, boding too well over with people, all right? Reeks of hypocrisy, dude, all right? He basically just said, I'm different. My situation is different. That's what, bro, people ain't buying this, yo. Like, yo, people is, like, pretty much calling him a hypocrite. Yo, I don't know where you're going to go from here, bro, but this is really bad. I just happen to be the exception, and so is my chick. So I could date the single mama with 2 kids because I'm David Cooley. I'm 6'4", high value man, 6 figures. I'm God's gift. So I could date the single mother, and my single mother with 2 kids, oh, she's different from the other single mothers. So you won't ever find a woman like mine, and you're not me. So you can't date single mothers. So my advice is still valid because, well, you're not me and she's not like the other single mother. Yo, you guys have lost your mind, bro. Like, and this is why a lot of people really don't take the rep pill seriously anymore, because there's really no foundation to this, bro. Like, it all just seems like a grift. They're making up rules on the spot, and it really has went from an ideology to just pure entertainment at this point, bro. Like, at some point, the manosphere and the rap pill movement were dudes who were like arguing ideas. At this point, bro, we know what this is, but this is just a grift, bro. Bring girls on, get them drunk, and get them belligerent, you know, instigate a confrontation, kick them out, clip it up, and post it online, bro. This is what the rap pill space is about, bro. This male improvement, alpha male strategies. Well, sorry, not the creator alpha male strategies, but like the niche alpha male strategies. Like, all of this, bro, is just like nonsense, man. And if you're still believing this, bro, good luck to you, man. But I'm sure David Cooley won't be the last, all right? I'm sure, you know, in about 2 months, there'll be another red pill dude who gets hot. Then he collabs with other podcasts, gets destroyed, gets exposed, and then rinse and repeat. And we'll be back making a video about that guy. Let me know in the comment section, what do you guys think, man? Do you guys feel like his excuse of he's the exception so he could date single mothers, but y'all can't, is that a valid excuse? Let me know, all right? And if you're still watching, click on this video somewhere on my screen to find out why Wack 100 just crashed out on Jay Prince and exposed everything. And when I say everything, I mean he exposed everything. Click on this video here to find out what I'm talking about. I'm out of here, folks. Peace.